The ethics PLO is to apply professional and ethical standards to all aspects of teaching and learning. Ethical educational technology design requires more than just following the rules. It requires making thoughtful decisions that protect the learner's access, respects the individual needs, and honors the work of others. My professional ethics animation, Equal versus Equitable, examines the difference between giving learners the same support and providing specific support that matches the learner's needs, then helps them reach their learning goal. Let's take a look.
And equitable education. In education realms, we often hear equal education for all. What does this statement actually mean? Dictionary. Almost all educators have seen the graphic of the 3 baseball fans standing on the equal-sized boxes, trying to see the game over the fence. The problem is only one of the fans can actually see the game. All of the fans are of different heights. Giving them an equal-sized box only benefits one. Over the fence and view the game, the situation is now equitable. All of the fans are happy and the team is energized by their fans. Now I'm going to throw a wrench into it. If we take the scenario one step further and tear down the wooden fence and replace it with a chain link fence, then we remove any barrier to be able to enjoy the games together.
The animation demonstrates that identical treatment can still create barriers. Ethical teaching requires educators to recognize differences in abilities, access, and readiness, and then respond with the appropriate level of support. My artifact, Copyright in Education Scavenger Hunt, applies ethical standards to the way educators select and use instructional media. Through guided questions and linked resources, learners examine fair use, public domain materials, and licensing requirements. I completed this artifact early in my MET program, and it changed the way I approach online resources. I became much more careful about verifying permissions and reviewing usage rights before adding media to a course or presentation. In some cases, the most ethical choice is to purchase a license or choose a different resource. This artifact helped establish the copyright practices I now use throughout my instructional design work. My web accessibility website artifact shows how ethical standards influence the structure of digital learning materials. Clear headings, accessible navigation, captions, and a readable page design allows more learners to engage in the course content. This project helped me understand that accessibility is a core design responsibility rather than an optional addition. In my next artifact, I'll talk about some of the tools that are available now for accessibility. My research on adaptive and assistive technology extends these ethical principles that I started learning about in my web accessibility artifact to adult professional learners. This artifact shows how accessibility can be built into trainings from the beginning rather than added after a learner encounters a barrier. For example, Microsoft Immersive Reader can read course materials aloud and adjust the spacing to reduce reading strain. Voice typing allows learners with pain, fatigue, or limited hand movements to demonstrate their knowledge without ever having to type a single word. Captions and transcripts make recorded content accessible to learners who are deaf or hard of hearing, as well as supporting those learners who need to review materials in a noisy workplace. These examples have strengthened my understanding that ethical design anticipates the learner's needs and provides flexible ways to access content and demonstrate learning. Together, all of these artifacts demonstrate my growth in applying ethical standards throughout teaching and learning. They show that responsible design begins with respect for the learner's differences, respect for access, and respect for intellectual property. Thank you.